would dismantle long-standing governmental traditions. One policy that has brought about controversy is the tax law that grants religious groups and other nonprofit institutions from having to pay certain taxes. Certain religious institutions do not have to pay taxes because the money goes to things that help benefit our society, such as helping to run soup kitchens, keeping shelters open, etc. The affirmative may argue that sometimes religious leaders misuse some of this money, using it for reasons that benefit them more personally than it does benefit society as a whole. This is a corruption in the system that needs to be changed by taxing religious institutions. This would not help with the problem, though. It may deal with one problem, but it would harm society in another way. Religious institutions are exempted from taxes by way of long-standing governmental traditions. However, these institutions are generally leaders in social services and humanitarian efforts. According to CatholicCharitiesUSA.org, Catholic churches alone provided food services for over 7 million people. Provided services that strengthen families to over 1 million people. And provided services that build strong communities to just under 4 million people. And provided housing-related services to just under 500,000 people. In all of 2009, Catholic churches helped and created hope for almost 10 million people. All of these people were helped from money that was not funded by the government. The government has never taxed the religious institutions because the money has ended up helping people more directly within the country. If we began taxing these institutions, then they would have less money to channel out into these efforts. It would be a burden to expect these same groups to continue humanitarian efforts and concurrently paying taxes. Therefore, it is financially impractical, undesirable, and illogical. Yes, there may be an occasional misuse of this money, and other systems are corrupt as well, such as politics. But does that mean that we should abort the system? Obviously not. Overall, the benefits of the tax exemption system outweigh the disadvantages by a wide margin. In addition to this policy, that would have to be affected because it has religious reference within it. There are financial issues. As Sam mentioned earlier, every piece of the paper money and every coin issued by the U.S. federal government must have the state motto, "In God We Trust," on it. If the affirmative side believes it's necessary to remove all religious references from governmental procedures and policies, it might just be too hard to do this in an efficient way, especially with money. I mean, think about it. How long would it take to collect all the money in circulation? According to visualeconomics.com, there's $850 billion currently in circulation. And it would take much too long for all this money to circulate out, and if it were to be collected all at once, it would have to be redistributed, and it would hurt the country in some way. Plus, the whole collection, reproduction, redistribution would all come out of the taxpayers' pockets. How many people actually look at their money and say, "I don't agree with this"? The only other way to logically get rid of religious references on money would be to wean it out. And according to the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond, the lifespan of paper money on average can be anywhere from 2 to 8 years. And even then, there's no guarantee for this money to be removed from the system. What would happen if you had it? Would it not be valid to be used in stores? Would it be up to the people to pay money to have their money shipped off in exchange for money without the word of God on it? The word God? It would be too much for the U.S. Treasury Department to have to deal with. Additionally, the economy is stagnant, and it would be morally unjust to implement these goals. Right now, we need to make sure that we can restore the economy to a stable state rather than causing any more stress to it. There's no logical plan that could solve all these problems. In conclusion, there really is no feasible plan that the affirmative side can propose that will solve the problem that continues to grow. The amount of people who identify themselves as non-believing atheists has been continuing to grow in this country, and our nation has been becoming much more aware and tolerant of their beliefs. But it is undeniable that 225 years ago, our founding fathers established a nation that was backed by Christian beliefs. But if these religious beliefs are not infringing upon the ways we live and even contribute to our society today, why do we have to make a change that will cost us money and enrage the vast majority of the people? Thanks.